Well, let's take a look at this man in the Bible. Ecclesiastes 2 and verse 17, his name is Solomon. He says, therefore I hated life, because the works that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me, for all is vanity and vexation of spirit. Therefore I hated life. And I said at the beginning of this program, I said, if you get everything in life you want, you're still not going to be happy. You're still not going to be happy. Now, let's consider this man Solomon. Well, Solomon, maybe it wasn't because he was poor. He was the richest man in the world. So it wasn't that. Well, maybe it was Solomon hated his life because he just couldn't find someone to love. Find me someone to love, and I'd be happy. Well, no. That's not it either. Solomon had 1,000 wives. That's a little extreme, is it not? 100 would be okay, but 1,000? Just kidding. 1,000 wives. Now, you may ask, okay, all right, God allowed a thing called polygamy back then. Why did God allow that? It was never God's original intent, by the way, to allow polygamy. From the beginning, it was one man, one woman, husband and wife, from the beginning. I mean, forever. Until death separates you. So, it was never God's ideal for polygamy, for a man to have multiple wives, but He allowed it. Why did He allow it? Well, actually the Bible tells us it's because of the hardness of the heart that God allowed man to have more than one wife. But, the truth of the matter is you can't love but one woman. Now, I know what you're thinking. You think, yeah, I sort of like that. And polygamy, they say that's sort of, with all the failed marriages, that people are starting to try this again, but the truth of the matter is you can only love one woman. That's it. Truly love. And you can only be a good father to just a few kids. And this is one of the things that was so devastating, is that there was no way Solomon could tend to all of these children that he had with his 1,000 wives, No way. You can only be a father. And this is something I think we ought to consider before marriage. How much time am I going to be able to spend with my children? Am I going to be able to be a good father to these children? And I'm convinced that you can only be a good father to just, you can't be a good father to 100 children. You just can't do it. And when you're not a good father, children become a burden on the state. They become dysfunctional when you're not a good father. Say, hey, if you're thinking about getting married, you want to ask some important questions. How much time are you, children spell love, T-I-M-E. How much time are you going to be able to spend with those children? Before you bring another child into the world, do you have the finances to do the things you want to do? These are important questions to ask. I have a sister that never had any children because she said, I'm too selfish. I like that. And that's brutal honesty. I like that. If you're too selfish, you shouldn't bring children into the world.